Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Star Trek, the original series, Season 2, Episode 23. It is called The Omega Glory. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always, and we'll get into this, as we typically do. Joe, it's funny. So the last 2 or 3 episodes, I've started every single one the same way. I've said, I was a little bit worried at the start, and then it actually ended up not being so bad. We had some pretty decent episodes after some shaky starts. I've had 2 or 3 like that recently. Maybe not in a row, but recently there's been a few like that.
And this one
is the opposite.
I know where you go. Yeah,
it's the exact opposite.
Like, I start, I'm like, oh, I'm into this, and then it gets up, I'm like, okay, I'm less into this, but it's not bad. And then it hits a point where it just shits the bed.
It starts off intriguing. You've got derelict ship. Oh, what happened to the crew? Oh, I'm into this. Oh, something suspicious. Oh, we're on a planet with a primitive civilization. Okay, it's typical Star Trek.
It's less interesting, but it's okay. It's okay.
Depending on where we're going with it, it could be fine. And then by the end, it's just like
do you know what's funny?
Patriotism wanking itself all over the place.
And it's the last couple of episodes, I've said, messaging's a bit on the nose. Oh, forget it. Because I think there was one of the last couple where they kind of referenced the theme that that we usually talk about. This is the theme of the episode. They kind of referenced it, and it was a little bit, weak because it felt like it needed to do that. This sings the theme at you, literally.
By the end of the episode, the Constitution and the Pledge of Allegiance are actually quoted.
Yeah.
So yeah, what is the Omega Glory? The Omega Glory, like I say, it starts off quite interesting. We find this other starship, and it's another similar model to the Enterprise, and it's the Exeter, and all the crew is mysteriously not there. All their clothes are there, and there's these crystals, like as if the, and obviously to us, we're watching it as a TV show. We're going, okay, so the crew somehow turned into crystals, right? Yeah. That's how they died.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like salt or something like that.
Yeah. McCoy, on the other hand, sort of discovers that basically all the water was taken, so they all kind of basically just crystallized into the matter that was left. That's scientifically remotely.
I don't think that's quite how it works.
I don't think so. It works
sure.
either. But that's what they're saying here. They're saying that this is what it would look like if all the water was taken away. I feel like that's not what it would look like, but I'll take it. Whatever, fine. It's mysterious. It's creepy. All cool. And it's like, okay, so they get the last captain's log of the captain of this ship, and he's like. And it's not actually the captain. The captain's actually still on the planet.
Chief medical officer.
But yeah, it's usually Kirk, but every so often someone else will do the log if he's not available. And it's the chief medical officer. He's like, yeah, everyone's been infected. Anyone who's on this ship, don't go back to your ship because you'll just infect your crew. Your only hope is to go out to the planet because the planet has immunity to it. Like, you can go to the planet and you'll be fine. And it's like, okay, all right, everything so far. Crew's in danger. We've got Spock, Kirk, McCoy in a red shirt. I wonder if the red shirt's long for this world. And they go down to the planet, and we have this primitive civilization. We have Asian people who seem to be in control, and then white people who seem to be the savages who are being executed in public for stealing things or something like that. And then the captain of this little ship, the Exeter, shows up. Captain Tracy. He comes out, and he's there. He's alive. He's fine because he's on the. And he's like, yeah, that's why I've survived because I'm on this planet, and so on. And then as the episode goes along, it turns out that he actually wants to the people who live here naturally. The random guy comes in. He's like, oh, this guy's what was it? 42 of the Red Dragons, something.
Yeah, he goes, how old are you? He goes, I've seen 42 cycles of the Red Dragon star or whatever.
Was it Red Scorpion? It was one of the two. It was a red animal of some kind.
Definitely red something, yeah.
And then our Tracy's like, yeah, by the way, one of those cycles of the Red Scorpion, that's 11 years our time. So he's been alive for over 400 years. He's ancient.
460.
Was that what it was? It's like his father's over 1,000 years. It's like, so fountain of youth. So we can market this, we can do things, and
and he pulls up the quandary because obviously at this point, Kirk's supposed to have arrested him, relieve him from duty because he broke the Prime Directive.
Yeah, he's been helping the comms fight off the Yangs. The Yangs being the white folk, the comms being the Asian folk, and he's been using his phaser to help them fight the Yangs.
Yeah. Right, and so okay, that's a big no-no. And his argument is, well, we could eliminate disease if we study this, and we use this, and but we've got to keep them alive. We've got to do this way, or at least that's what how he says it at first. And I think that would have been an interesting quandary for it to look at. Like, okay, is this benefit to all of humanity enough to break the Prime Directive once?
Possibly. I think even before that, I was still kind of into just, oh no, the core dilemma of the episode now, apart from us crewing ourselves, because at this point we still weren't sure, like, because later on we find out that being on the planet for a while just makes them immune. Like, they have actually nothing to worry about. Once they've been here for a few hours, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, which is actually one of my biggest disappointments, is that the whole mystery at the start of the episode, or what happened to the crew, turns out to be a nothing. It's just like, that doesn't matter. It's fine. They're all okay.
Yeah, they just the other people, they just left the planet too early. Yeah, that's it.
So it takes that core mystery from the start and makes it meaningless, which is kind of a bummer because that's what I liked about the start of the episode.
Yeah.
But the other core thing here, even before we get to what he wants to use the planet for, just going back to this core idea of, okay, this other, up until this point, well-respected captain has interfered, which is the thing we're not supposed to do. So how do we tackle that? And because even Spock sort of agrees at one point, oh, well, I admit that we're kind of beyond the point of, like, arresting him and, going through protocol, but at the very least you have to take his phaser and, like, stop him from interfering any further.
Yeah, and he makes a point of saying that, no, if you don't do this, then, you'll be liable as well, because you didn't stop him.
So I thought, okay, maybe there's something interesting to explore here where he's interfered and then we have to decide how to, like, deal with it.
Yeah,
and then,
even when Kirk confronts Tracy, and when he starts saying the words that he has to, and Tracy's like, yeah, all right, you've said the words, that's fine, you've done your part, you're absolved.
Yeah, but then it turns into, no, he's actually a bit of a villain, and a lot of the episode then is Kirk and co in a prison cell with some of the Yangs, and then eventually it turns into, somehow this planet also had the same history we did, except that the Cold War wasn't so cold, and the comms won, and they figure out that comms actually came from the word communist, and the Yangs came from the word Yanks, and the Yangs are actually, they have sacred texts which are the Constitution and the Pledge of Allegiance, and they say that
they have the American flag.
Yeah, and they butcher it, but Kirk realizes what he's trying to say, and he finishes it, and it makes them all go, "Oh, is he like a god? Is he here from the sacred text?" And then they think Spock's from Satan, and all things are happening. And by this point in the episode, like, I don't think I've ever seen an episode start off in a really interesting place and nosedive so hard as it went on for me.
No, like I said, the middle section, I was like, okay, this is less interesting to start, but it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I was disappointed when they went out to the planet, because instantly I was like, okay, this feels like more of a different type of episode that I don't typically like as much. But once it got to that last, like, 5-10 minutes, I was just like, oh, what is this shit? What are we doing?
This was atrocious.
No, this episode sucks.
That 10 minutes is some of the worst of the show.
It is.
So far.
And of course, like, as they're leaving, Kirk has to turn around and look at the flag just once more, and, a little bit of, some patriotic music plays as he walks out, and it's like, oh, piss off. Like, I don't care.
Oh, boy.
It was so interesting. For that first 5-10 minutes, what's going on? Oh, this is mysterious. Oh, there's things happening and all sorts.
This could have been any country. Just make one up, please. You can have the same sentiment. Kirk and Spock say, oh, we've seen these words numerous times. Every planet, they all have a version. But yours is word for word the same as ours.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like you say, it doesn't matter what country it is. It could be any country. It'd be equally as cringe-inducing and annoying. And on top of that, the fight that takes place, like, there's multiple fights in this that just go on for ages. The first one's in the prison cell with Kirk and the Yang, and it just
gets to a point where Kirk just sits back and watches.
Yeah, it lasts for like a good 5 minutes of actual screen time almost. And then the fight at the end, where it's Captain Tracy and Kirk, where the Yangs are like, no, you will fight each other, and good will triumph, evil will perish, because they don't know who to trust. And they put like a blade, like, that's kind of machete or whatever it is, the edge of the sort of the little ring that they're going to fight in, and it just becomes this like sort of like hugging match where they're trying to like get to the blade quicker. And all I could think was, why don't you just grab the other guy's neck and snap it? Like, I know that sounds really dark, but you don't have to get to the blade. Like,
no.
It became a child's fight of trying to get to the object first. That's what it was.
It did.
It didn't look like two professional trained combatants fighting. It looked like kids wrestling on the floor.
Pretty
and
much.
this was such a dull and uninteresting episode.
It was. And when they were in the prison and Spock's in a different cell and he's just going, yeah, this makes no sense. It's not logical.
Mm.
I'm like, why are you not over this yet? Like you've accepted situations before that aren't logical. Not everyone is as logical as you. You know that.
Yeah, it got mildly entertaining as he was kind of just yelling support for Kirk because he couldn't do anything. He's just like, "Yep, keep at it, Captain."
It went on too long though. Like
It
even
did
that
go on
stopped
too
being
long.
funny.
But if they kept going further with it though, and actually made them say like more, I don't know, just more diverse things.
Okay, yeah, it became like the same three things over and over.
Yeah. Whereas if you'd actually started saying things that were funnier because of the context, that would have been maybe quite good. I could see it being funny.
Yeah.
And maybe if Kirk was like getting annoyed at him mid fight, he'd be like, Spock, shut up! Like, you're not helping. Like, you know, like I feel like there's other episodes that have done a similar thing at some point and they've worked better. And this just, I don't know.
Oh boy, I just can't get over how bad that turned into. Like I say, like this started off like potentially, you know, I was like, oh, this could be on track for one of the best of the season.
I think this is another case with all the sets, because obviously the first part when on the other ship it's the same as the Enterprise, so they're just using the same set, right? Fine,
Yeah.
Cool. I do not begrudge that one bit. But when they go down to the planet, all I could think was, this is from another show, isn't it? You've got these sets lying around from some other show that had like this, because you know it's not, it's like a, I could see this being from like a Western set, like this prison cell and.
Yeah, definitely.
They've just brought in a couple of things to dress it up, but you could see that this just came from another show or something. It was.
Do you know what we haven't spoke about?
What have we not spoke about?
Sulu.
Oh yeah,
We were saying
fun,
how he'd been gone for so long.
And
now he's
literally,
acting captain. Where'd he come from?
Joey, if I tell us, we spoke about that last time, but we've barely seen Sulu in like 10 weeks, and he is literally the first thing you see in this episode. It cuts to him.
Yeah.
On the bridge, and I'm like, oh, Sulu's back. Hey.
I feel like when you've been gone for so long, someone else takes your seniority when it comes to acting captaincy. Like, it's just like, no, you were away for too long. Someone else gets to go.
I mean, whatever. Notably, there was no Chekhov. I don't think we've had Chekhov and Sulu in the same episode yet. That'll be fun when we finally, like, can that happen? Will the show self-destruct if Chulu and Sulu and Chekhov are on the same time?
You just gave them their shipping name, didn't you?
Yes. That's the shipping name for all the shippers out there who want Sulu and Chekhov to get together. Chulu.
They're out there, you know it.
They're always out there. Joe, actually, this was on me. This moment of stupidity. But at one point, they're talking about chemical warfare, right? They're talking about like what could have done this, and they start theorizing chemical warfare, and they reference events that happened in the 90s. Oh, this must be like that thing, and I misheard it at first. Like, oh, what was he talking about? And I went back because I thought maybe he said 40s, like World War II or something like that, like or World War One, maybe more specifically with the the mustard gas and stuff like like stuff that I actually remember from history, right? And then he says 90s, I'm like, what happened in the 90s? And then I was like, oh wait a minute, this was made before the 90s. Never mind. Jesus. This was made before. This is them cracking a joke about something that might happen in the future.
Oh boy.
Oh, but nothing happened in the 90s. There was pop music.
There was a lot of shitty pop music.
Yeah, there was a lot of boy bands and girl bands.
Some not bad pop music, but a lot of shitty pop music.
I'm like, I mean, I might make you think about them getting chemically attacked, but I don't remember any chemical attacks in the 90s.
Oh my god, you're...
I admit, on me, it was a stupid thought.
That was on you.
I mean, like I say, I'm making it a bigger thing. It was like a 3-second thing, and then it clicked. I'm like, oh wait, no, that's stupid.
3 seconds is still pretty long to have that thought.
Shut up, Rick. It was just a thought. I was like, what happened in the 90s? Oh, it was made in the 60s, never mind. So it's just them doing the thing. Which is funny.
That's the most interesting thing about this episode.
It actually is. It's funny though, because you're doing Star Trek Discovery now. They can reference things from the 90s and it would actually be accurate. In fact, they did, I think.
They could, but did they?
I'm sure they listed like some inventors or something at one point and they mentioned someone who wasn't really around in the 60s. I'm sure of that.
Okay, yeah, probably. I imagine though their core idea, like this, this biological warfare in the 90s still had to happen in Discovery's timeline. That still happened in their 90s.
If the writers remember that line, then sure.
Well, yeah.
I mean, but I'm sure. Like, I think at one point they mentioned Elon Musk, and I don't think was Elon Musk a thing back. I don't think it was.
No,
I That's definitely more contemporary. So
Oh, it is. It is.
they'll
So
definitely
they can
reference
add things, but they can't really contradict things. But that doesn't contradict anything that they've said so far.
So in Star Trek history, space girls and chemical warfare were going on at the same time.
Oh, I love that. That's poetic. I think.
Or grunge. I don't know why I'm going. I mean, I like grunge as opposed to pop music, so I suppose I should.
Yeah, but I mean, you had it with you. Spice, chemicals. Oh, there's something there.
I imagine some chemicals can be quite grungy.
They probably can. Yeah. Lithium, for example.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That was a Nirvana reference for any of you kids out there who don't get there's a Nirvana song called Lithium, just for the record.
I'm quite impressed with how quick I got to that, actually.
Oh, look at you.
I thought it was going to take me longer.
I think we're done, right? We don't have anything else to this episode. That sucked. Future rewatches of Star Trek, I will be skipping this one. Thank you very much.
I might watch the first 10 minutes.
Well, no, I was
turn it off and pretend it doesn't. Pretend I don't know what happens after. Pretend it's a power cut, and it's like, oh right, that's it. That's the 10 minutes. That's all. That's all that exists of that.
I don't know if that works. I'm not gonna lie.
And then my own ending.
Anyway, that is the Omega. What's it called?
Something.
The Omega Glory. Nothing glorious about this episode, you bastards. So let us know what you think of this one in the comments. Like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mail_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the show and the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. There'll be a link to that in the description. You get these Star Trek reviews a week early. There's other things you get. You have voting rates for some of the movie shows and so on. So go check it out. But otherwise, that is us. So hopefully next week's episode is better.
Said that for about a month now.
Yeah, but this is the first one in the month that's been truly bad. Like, I feel like the rest of them have all been kind of... they've not been a great episode, but they've been okay. We just hope its next one's better because we want to, we want a home run,
Yeah. Would you want?
Yeah, so hopefully the last 3 episodes of Season 2 do have one in there to make us excited. So we'll see you then. Keep watching TV. And I don't have a catchphrase for this, and I usually end with saying, I'll see you next time, but that feels weird after I just said see you then. So this outro's completely butchered. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.